Alrighty. Morning. Tzedakah. Bring the Geula. Make the world a beautiful place. Or more beautiful. Beautifuler. Let's try to see the good in the world. And there's a lot of trash in the world, but we have to also try to see the good in the world as well. That doesn't mean to see the negativity in the world and think that it's good. That's not correct. But to notice the positivity. Okay. So we're in section 17. And the Rebbe is taking us on a bit of a journey through these four levels of four interpretations of Moda'ani and the way Chassidus imbues them with life. But now what we started is that the Rebbe is going to start. They were trying to actually get to a point, but the idea the Rebbe is bringing up now is that part of what Chassidus does is that Chassidus unites specifics with the core essence. Okay, and this is something that's a recurring theme within Chassidus. Because essence is the essence of all the specifics, all the details. So Chassidus is trying to reveal this, to show this within all the details, to show unification, a oneness. So now the Rebbe is going to go through every one of the interpretations of Moda'ani according to Chassidus and show that in each one, Chassidus is really essentially uniting the specifics, the details, the pieces with the core essence. So let's go through them. The Inyan HaSpheris, we see that the Chassidus does this within the topic of the Spheris, the holy spiritual. Okay, whatever, holy and spiritual. I think that's the best way to say it. If you want to understand why I just said holy and spiritual instead of holy, spiritual, or holy, whatever, you can have a conversation afterwards. Spheris in the upper worlds. So regarding that topic, Chelek HaSod, this was the interpretation of Moda'ani according to Kabbalah. Gam bechinas hamalchus atzmo miyuchedes im sfiras hayesod. Even the level of malchus, which is what creates the world, even malchus itself is united, this is the key word here, with the sphere above it, the sphere of Yesod. Ad shenasim le'inyan echad, until they become one concept, which we call in Moda'ani melech, chai, v'kayim. He's not melech and as a separate topic, he's also chai v'kayim. No, he's one thing. Melech Chai V'Kayim, the living and eternal King. Ubimela inyan ha'achdus she'ein oid milvadoi. Automatically, the idea of oneness, Hashem's oneness, that He is ein oid milvadoi, there's nothing besides for Him, as we spoke at length the other day. Einoi shelo yeshna metzius oilmois, being that the unity is that Malchus is united with the spheres above it, with the sphere of Yesod. The oneness of Hashem is not in a way that it negates the existence of the universe. That Hashem is so one that the world doesn't even exist. It has no real existence. That's what we said. But Ki'im, rather, it's deeper than that. Shegam ha'olam es atzmam, k'moish hem nimtzayim b'misiyusam u'mugdari b'geder zman ha'makim, miyuchadim hem b'tachlis hayichud ba'atzma se'etzah baruch hu. That even as the worlds themselves, as they are in their existence, they have a particular existence, they're set in time and space, they're defined with certain definitions. Even as they exist within their existence, they are united with the ultimate unity with Hashem's essence. Part of the work of Chassidus is to try for us to integrate that into our brains and hearts, and specifically in our lives, in our day-to-day actions. To accept this idea is easier than to actually act on this idea. Okay, so we see the unity of parts within the Kabbalah aspect of Moda'ani. What about in the other aspects? Be'inyan ha-mitzvahs, we see this in the topic of mitzvahs as well. Chelek hadrush, which was the drush level of Moda'ani. So how do you see this? Gam ha-mitzvahs sheyesh alem tam v'nikroim b'teres emes b'shem mishpatim misachti v'ikarim hu haratzon shalamaylam etam. Even those mitzvahs which have a reason, which have a logic, which have a rationale, which are obvious sometimes. And the Torah of truth, that's what it's called, Teras Emes, the Torah of truth, calls them mishpatim, which mishpatim are laws, rules, which are logical, they make sense to us. Even those mitzvahs, their core is, at their essence, they are a will, a divine will which transcends logic. By the way, an example of this, I won't give a particular example, just give the idea of an example. Is that when you take any mitzvah, that one of the quote unquote logical mitzvahs, okay, don't steal, don't kill. As the basic idea, don't steal, don't kill, very logical. We would have done these things on our own. We would have, in society today, a lot of societies, this is a staple. I know it gets confusing sometimes that people, they start to blur the lines a little bit, but when you examine the details of these mitzvahs, which there's a lot of laws associated with each one, when you look at this particular laws, things start to not make so much sense to us. They start to leave the realm of logic. What's considered stealing, what's not considered stealing, in those particular particulars. So you can even see within the details that at the core, every mitzvah is truly transcends reason, divine will. Okay, you see the same thing in the topic of creation, which was the hint level of Maidani, Remez. Even in those matters of the world, which appear to our eyes, make us see and make us think that the world exists on its own, is self-sustained, it doesn't need anything, even though the truth is Hashem is constantly recreating every single moment, every single aspect of creation. We just don't notice that. So within this world that seems to exist on its own, the renewal of a person, and the truth is the entire world, every morning is a renewal in one's entire existence. Like the way the world was created thousands of years ago, that it was a nothing and now there is a something. And lastly, regarding a person's feeling, a person's sensitivity, which was the simple, the literal of Madani. Even in the thanking of a person showing gratitude for the fact that they are alive, even within that, they feel that their entire life, their entire real life is the fact that they are a Jew. So you see, the specifics are uniting with the core essence. Okay. Section 18. Al-Piha now, based on this previous section, Yuvnu Divrei Rabbeinu Nisienu, we will understand the words of our Rabbeim, the Rebbes of Chabad. She'amru akama mailas protius b'Chassidus shezehu inyan shel Chassidus k'niskel b'stil Chassidus, that they said regarding specific qualities of Chassidus, that this is Chassidus. Now, when we started this a few weeks ago, we started off, and the Rebbe in the beginning of the Sikha was trying to narrow down what is Chassidus. The Rebbe gave 4 different ideas. That Chassidus woke up the world from the state of faint. A Chassid, someone who learns and implements the teachings of Chassidus, is one who acts beyond the letter of the law. We gave the example about burning the nails. The Chassidus changes the nature of one's character traits, not just changes his natural character traits, it changes the very nature of them. And the Chassidus helps one understand godliness, the teachings of Kabbalah. Makes it accessible. The Rebbe said this can't be what the essence of Chassidus is, because these are specific qualities. The essence is something that has to be in every aspect of Chassidus. It is the essence of Chassidus. It's not just one particular idea. There's one thing that the Rebbe did not mention here, clearly at least, was that these particular ideas, why did the Rebbe single out these? Because these things, our Rabbeim, the Chabad Rebbes, had said that this particular topic, that the idea that a Chassid goes beyond the letter of the law, this is Chassidus. So is it Chassidus or is it not Chassidus? Is this the essence of Chassidus, that a Chassid burns his nails, he goes beyond the letter of the law, or is the essence Yechida? That's what we were saying the whole time. That's what we're explaining. So the Rebbe is going to explain, and now we'll understand why, based on what we just said, we'll understand why the previous Chabad Rebbes said about these particular qualities that this is the essence of Chassidus. Why? Because although that those qualities just are applications or extensions from the essence of what Chassidus is, Mikol Makayim, here's the key. Nevertheless, Al yodin davka misbatis atzmos moso. It is through these qualities, through these highlights, that the essence of Chassidus is expressed. In other words, Chassidus unites the details with the essence. In other words, the essence is seen within the details. So when you look at these particular qualities of Chassidus, they're very particular, very detailed, very defined things. But being that Chassidus is Chassidus, and the nature of Chassidus, that it is Yechida and is the essence, it is through the details that the essence is expressed. I would say similar, not exactly the same thing, but similar. Imagine a person comes up with a particular theory in math, okay, and he discusses with other math professors, and they all agree that this is a good theory. Who appreciates this theory? Math professors. Me and you don't appreciate it. We don't care. It's numbers and shapes and funny words. We don't get it. We have better things to worry about. It's only once one of these professors takes this theory and uses this theory and implements it into a usually physical action. Let's say they build a house based on this mathematical theory, that the structure is solid, it's firm, it's stronger than any other foundation that has been put forth since. Based on this theory, this application of the theory expresses the essence of the theory, so to speak. It expresses the power of the theory. And then everybody can appreciate it. They see, wow, look at what a strong house this guy built. How did he build such a strong foundation? Because of this math theory. Right? So specifically in the details, it's defined as a house, as a structure. Now you see the power of this mathematical theory. So I think similarly over here, it's in the application of Chassidus that you, or the expressed qualities of Chassidus, that you see the essence revealed. Now, if you look at the structure, you don't see the math theory. You see a house. That's all you see. Okay. The math professors, they understand the theory behind it. So in a sense, the thing itself, the theory is hidden, and all you see is a structure, a house. But you see it expressed, and it really gives out its true core. So to in Chassidus, these particular qualities, that a chas goes beyond letter of law, and so on and so forth, you don't necessarily see the essence of Chassidus itself, but you see it expressed, you see its power. Let's say. Going further, now there's a rule in Kabbalah. How far back in Kabbalah? Very, very far back. This is from the work called the Sefer Yetzirah, the Book of Formation. It is either one of or the oldest book of Kabbalah. I think there's a bit of a debate who wrote it. It's very, very old, and it's very difficult to understand. You need Chassidus in order to understand it. There are parts of Sefer Yetzirah that are explained by Chassidus, but this is one of the lines from Sefer Yetzirah. There's a rule, No'ut tchilason b'soifan. Okay? The beginning is wedged, is connected into the end. That's what it says. End of story. Read that in Sefer Yetzirah, no idea what it's talking about. Chassidus talks about this a lot. The end and the beginning of something are connected. In the end of something is expressed its deepest essence. And the essence of something in its deepest core, you see what the goal is, in a sense, the end. Spoken about at length. So, based on this rule that the beginning is wedged into the end, the lower down the Chassidus is pulled away from its essence, from its height, so to speak, and is brought down lower and lower to be applied and to affect lower and lower levels. The lower down it goes, until it's brought down so low that it's coming not to the soul, the godly soul, it's coming down to the animalistic soul, which we all possess, which is the soul that wants pizza and ice cream and wants to have a good time. When Chassidus comes down to that level and starts talking, so to speak, to that soul, And until also the outside world, mizbate os biyoser etzem ahusa. When it's brought down so low that it's even quote unquote talking to the animalistic soul, there the essence, the deepest essence of Chassidus is expressed. Because the beginning is wedged into the end. The lower something is brought down, the more its essence comes out. This is the reason why the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe emphasized many times in his talks, every single thing that you learn in Chassidus, you need to bring it to a practical, physical application. Because it is through practical work and implementing into divine service of Hashem, is through this that you grasp the essence of Chassidus. Chassidus talks about very many lofty things. I was just reading last night a letter the Rebbe wrote to somebody. There was talk about this topic. It's talked about in the work of Chassidus from the Rebbe Rashab called Samach Vav, where Pnimius Abba, Pnimius Atik, the inner level of Chochmah, of divine wisdom, is the inner level of Atik. It's a deep topic. It's a very deep topic. Even such topics, and even deeper and higher, they need to be expressed in our practical day-to-day lives. They have to have some sort of expression. Part of the reason is, like the Rebbe is saying here, is because by bringing it into practical application, you get it more. You get the essence. Not exactly a good example. Not exactly the same thing. Not really much the same thing, but just in a sort of inkling sort of way, it'll be an example. Somebody says, I could jump 5 feet in the air. Great. That's the end of the story. When you say you could jump 5 feet in the air, it basically means nothing until you actually jump 5 feet. Once you jump 5 feet, that expresses that power, that ability that you have, that you said you have, and it's seen in your physical action. That deep power that you have to jump 5 feet is seen when it is expressed once you actually do it. Again, not a great example, but it is an example, I think. Okay, we'll pause here. Based on these ideas, the Rebbe is going to address a very interesting statement from the Talmud and show how it's bringing out the same idea. I'll just tell you briefly what the statement is. The sages say, "Barasi yetzer hara, barasi le'torah tavlin." Hashem says, "I created a yetzer hara, an evil urge, evil desire within each person, and I created Torah as a spice for the yetzer hara." We'll explain more, God willing, tomorrow. I was hoping actually to finish this tomorrow. We're almost done. We will finish it at the beginning of next week. Okay, have a great day.